My name is Luis Iglesias. I am a gardener in Spain and have been working with plants, especially flowering potted plants, for over 20 years. Unfortunately, I do not speak English. To make sure you can still understand me, you see my avatar here. It reproduces my words in your language. The content and opinions are entirely my own. It is important to me that you get an honest, well-founded impression of the product I am about to present to you. Some time ago, Pottery Rebel asked me to test their new product, the H2O Avatar. Honestly, I was skeptical at first. There are already numerous self-watering systems that often disappoint in practice. And here, this system was supposed to let the plant communicate with the pot and tell it when it needs water. To me, that initially sounded more like esotericism than serious technology. Thanks to its wheels, moving it into place was effortless. With the H2O Avatar itself, I was immediately impressed by the high-quality ceramic and the simplicity of the principle. No electricity, no electronics, no app, but a purely physical system that uses the plant itself for control. I planted a begonia and filled the 18-liter water tank, which even shuts off the water automatically when full. A clearly readable scale on the outside shows the water level at any time. Then, I activated the communication sensor. After just a few minutes, everything was ready, and from that moment on, the H2O Avatar worked completely autonomously. The functional principle is as simple as it is ingenious. The avatar essentially consists of two parts, an upper and a lower pot that are nested together. The weight of the upper pot with the plant presses on a flexible accordion tank, and thus generates the necessary water pressure. Control is handled by a special ceramic sensor that precisely detects the soil's moisture content. As long as there is sufficient water in the soil, the valve remains closed. Only when the plant actually needs more does it open and release water from above. In this way, the plant itself decides when and how much water it receives, a form of communication that perfectly reflects the slogan, "The voice of your plant." The H2O communication valve works pressure-controlled with a porous ceramic sensor. It only opens under negative pressure in dried-out soil. This prevents waterlogging and ensures a physiologically healthy water supply. Watering occurs like rainfall, vertically through the substrate. This moistens the entire root zone evenly without creating anaerobic zones at the bottom. Natural wet and dry cycles are created. During moist phases, the plant receives water evenly. During dry phases, it can absorb oxygen through the roots, pathogens and bacteria are reduced, and a root rot is prevented. It increases aerobic activity in the root zone and significantly improves nutrient uptake. Periodic drying also reduces harmful pathogens and fungal infestations. This sustainably minimizes losses due to root rot or phytophthora. Through the interplay of wet and dry phases, a physiologically optimal cycle emerges. Plants respond with stronger root formation and greater stress tolerance. Comparing all common systems, hand watering, self-watering pots, or professional irrigation systems with pipes and timers, one thing is clear: the H2O Avatar outperforms them all. This diagram shows the green zone as the optimum in which plants thrive. The red line of hand watering shows strong fluctuations, sometimes too dry, sometimes too wet, even with disciplined watering, since factors like humidity, temperature, rain, sun, wind, and the individual plant all play a role. Only with a lot of experience can one manage demand-based watering. Self-watering pots, here shown with the blue line, promise relief, but the substrate is permanently soaked via capillary action or wicks. The plant is always standing in water. Dry phases are missing. Growth stagnates. Professional systems with timers and sensors, here shown with an orange line, perform better but have disadvantages. They are expensive, installation is complex, and nozzles clog due to limescale. Also, all plants always receive the same amount of water regardless of their actual needs. The H2O Avatar takes a different path. Each plant decides individually when and how much water it requires. In the diagram, The Avatar's green line always remains in the optimal range. Wet and dry phases alternate without the plant ever drying out. Here, the plant itself takes control. It speaks with its avatar. For me, this is the safest and most effective method of plant irrigation. A simple, ingenious idea that was long overdue. Unlike capillary or wick systems, the H2O Avatar's ceramic sensor does not clog from limescale or biofilm. The mechanical control works maintenance-free for years. The water no longer spoils, and the plant is not permanently in wet soil. A clear advantage, especially for valuable plants. With an 18-liter reservoir, the H2O Avatar achieves an autonomous watering period of up to 6 months, depending on plant size and climate. For users, this means a drastic reduction in watering cycles. You no longer have to ask your neighbors to water your plants when you go on holiday. The closed tank prevents algae formation. In addition, the water remains hygienic and free of contaminants, a decisive advantage over open systems. The H2O Avatar even has an integrated cooling system. I have never seen anything like this before. For me, it proves how deeply and visionary the developers considered all factors necessary for strong, healthy plant growth. Between the plant pot and the water tank lies a climate ceramic made of open-pored material. It absorbs moisture and releases it slowly. Through this evaporation, the ceramic cools down and transfers this cooling effect both to the root zone and to the water in the tank, a passive, energy-free stabilization against overheating. A major advantage for hot regions, like in summer here in Spain. And it gets even better. One H2O Avatar can supply up to 10 satellite pots via a hose system. In the basic configuration, the H2O Avatar already includes 4 satellite pots in the same design as the master pot. This allows up to 5 plants to be optimally watered independently. All required components, sensors, hoses, and connectors, are included. Each of these pots has its own communication valve through which the plant itself determines when it receives water. So every plant is individually supplied. This makes it easy to create a small green oasis on the balcony, in the living room, or on the terrace. The H2O Avatar works with existing substrate. Repotting into special soil is unnecessary, a clear advantage for sensitive species or large containers that are difficult to move. Since no substrate change is required, the fine root system remains intact. This prevents transplant shock and promotes continuous growth. The system works purely mechanically. No electronics, pumps, or software. This eliminates any risk of technical failure, an immense advantage. The materials used are durable, weather-resistant, and recyclable. And the team at Pottery Rebel even thought about light and came up with something very special. A glass crystal on the H2O valve reflects and guides light into shaded plant areas to support photosynthesis. This helps when the sun doesn't shine or when the plant is in darker rooms. The crystals also create beautiful light reflections around the H2O Avatar. My tests over several months have shown that plants in the H2O Avatar grow stronger and more luxuriant than comparison plants in conventional pots. For me as a gardener, this is a revolution. The plant itself decides when and how much water it needs, more precisely than a human ever could. The result is healthy, resilient plants with strong root systems and abundant blossoms. In addition to its functionality, the H2O Avatar also convinces with its design. Instead of plastic, it uses high-quality ceramics, fine materials, and a glass crystal. This makes the H2O Avatar not only a reliable watering system, but also a decorative design element for home, balcony, or garden. The H2O Avatar is far more than a watering system. It nourishes plants as nature does, on demand, not constantly wet. At the same time, it cools the root zone through evaporation and uses the integrated crystal to direct light even into shaded areas. In this way, it becomes a natural growth booster that supports both photosynthesis and root health, ensuring vigorous, rapid plant growth. My practical test has shown the H2O Avatar is not a gimmick, but a true innovation that revolutionizes the everyday life of plant lovers and professionals. It is far superior to previous self-watering systems and achieves a precision that even I, as a professional, could only accomplish with great effort and electronic measuring devices. That is exactly why I support the team at Pottery Rebel, who have given our plants a voice and the attention they deserve. Floral regards, Luis Iglesias.